and I'm president of the AIGA San Diego Tijuana chapter. As a group, we're very proud to represent this borderless relationship between the greater San Diego and Baja region. We respectfully acknowledge that the Kumeyaay Nation are the original inhabitants of this unceded land, now known as San Diego. I would like to acknowledge the leaders amongst us. If all the AIGA San Diego Tijuana board members and advisory board members could stand up, please, just for a second.
I see you.
These are folks who do this work as volunteers and are dedicated to making a creative community for our design cohorts, both on this side of the border and on the Tijuana side of the border. Thank you to our sponsors who continue to step up to support this kind of quality programming in our design community. Visual Asylum, Calvin Wu and Susan Merritt, and the Design Innovation Institute, Myers Ball, Miriello, and Conover Design. So as you can see, times have turned, right? Where years ago we were able to garner support from folks like paper companies and printing companies. And in the recent years, we've not been able to rely on that support, so we've looked from within. So I think it's a testament to how much we believe in each other and in this community that these folks will step up time and time again to make things like tonight happen. So a round of applause, please. Thank you also to one of our early Intrepido speakers, an AIGA fellow, AIGA San Diego Tijuana Advisory Board member, Susan Merritt, for planning this event and for connecting us all to our speaker, Richard. Thank you. So this time I'd like Susan to come up and start us off on the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Maelin, and welcome everyone. I first met Richard Danne in 1982. My husband, Calvin Wu, is here somewhere. My husband, Calvin Wu, was then vice president of San Diego's Communicating Arts Group. That was the organization that was in practice here before AIGA. And as vice president, that put him in charge of programming. You like to be in charge of programming because you can bring in good people, right? People you're interested in. So in those days, it was the business of design that was a hot topic. And so was Danne and Blackburn. And so Calvin got to invite Richard to come to San Diego and to share his wisdom. Now, 42 years later, I'm on AIGA San Diego Tijuana's advisory board, and I propose to the board that we invite Richard back to fill us in on what he's been doing since he was here last. And it's a lot. This time he brings, in addition to his wife Barbara, he brings his recently published book, Shooting for the Stars, 6 Decades of Timeless Design. This book is a testament to an extraordinary career and a life of giving back. I love the quotes strategically placed throughout the pages and was especially drawn to the one that precedes the section titled AIGA Immersion. And I quote here, "Call it leadership or call it service. It's part of my DNA. My parents challenged me to be the best you can possibly be and share with others." And Richard certainly has spent his life in both of those areas. He's clearly among the best, and his penchant for sharing spans his 6-decade-long design career. His commitment to excellence and design leadership was recognized as early as 1974 when he was invited to join the elite organization Alliance Graphique Internationale, also known as AGI. He then served as AGI USA president for 8 years. Then he served as AIGA national president from 1976 to 78. And it was under his leadership that AIGA grew from a largely local New York graphic design club to a national chapter-based organization. AIGA had 2 pseudo-chapters when Richard took over, one in DC and the other in Cleveland. Today, AIGA has 72 chapters spread across the country, and Richard was the founding president of the New York chapter. So in 2014, Richard was awarded the prestigious AIGA medal for his contributions to the design community through leadership and excellence over the course of his career. And in 2018, the San Francisco chapter honored Richard with the AIGA Fellow Award. Tonight, we're honored to have Richard share his life story and career highlights, including the much-loved 1976 Identity Program for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known by its acronym, NASA. This project was one of the early awardees under the Federal Graphics Improvement Program initiated by none other than President Richard Nixon in 1972. And it was supported by the National Endowment for the Arts, which was under the direction at the time of Nancy Hanks, the first woman to ever hold that position. And she once said, "Good design is good government." We could use something of that. The NASA logotype and graphic standards manual are now legendary. The iconic red logotype, and that would be Pantone 179 to be exact, is among the most recognized in the world and revered for its timeless design. On January the 30th, 1985, on behalf of his design firm, Danne & Blackburn, Richard accepted the U.S. Presidential Award for Design Excellence for the NASA project, which was presented to him by President Ronald Reagan. This was his first of 3 presidential awards. In 1992, NASA's new director, Daniel Golden, rescinded our beloved logotype, but he brought back the so-called meatball emblem. But several decades later, and I'm sure Richard will add on to this, but several decades later, the so-called worm, as it was disrespectfully named, was reinstated, and in 2023, Richard was awarded NASA's Exceptional Public Achievement Medal, finally. On top of that, this year, the NASA Logotype and Graphic Standards Manual were placed in the Museum of Modern Art's permanent collection, and both are featured in MoMA's current exhibition, Pirouette Turning Points in Design, through October 18th. So if you're going to New York, be sure to go and see it. So for Calvin and me, Richard's sharing is personal, as he is the namesake of our son, Davey. So please welcome our dear friend and wonderful friend of AIGA, Richard Danne.
The son that was upset at all, I was welcome. And I want to welcome all of you. I'm thrilled to see you here. And I'd like to speak here about every 42 years. Is that asking too much? And the thing is, I mean, it's a great community. I've known that for a long time. What pleases me so much is not that you're all here, but I see a lot of young faces. And my current thing has been really appealing to the young people, even to UX designers, if that doesn't sound like person.